Hey everyone, I'm Adrienne. Welcome to yoga. It's 2 minutes after I was supposed to start, so I'm going to give folks a chance to find the stream and sign off. But today, we're not going to do anything too funky or unusual. If you have been following along week to week, but as always, if you have blocks or you have a trusty stack of books to use as blocks, those are handy to bring the floor level up to you if ever you're reaching towards it and it just seems too far away. So that's some good support. And you can also grab a blanket or a towel, something that you can fold and likes to stack when you fold it. So that's an option. Similarly, a pillow can be some good support. And all of these items can be placed underneath the seat to raise, again, the floor up a little bit higher, just to help work with your own physical range of motion. Grab some water if you like. I just crushed a bunch of candy corn, so I'm not a shining example. So I'm going to need some water for this. So anyway, we're going to get started. I'm going to go back to mat. And you can find your easy seat. So for me today, full of candy corn, that is up on a blanket. I'm doing a little bit across the leg. I'm closing my eyes. You're welcome to as well. Your hands can find anywhere where the arms and shoulders are allowed to feel loose. Allow the chin to dip, maybe the forehead a little bit forward. Starting to feel the back of the neck lengthen. I'll invite you to do what I just did. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave you behind. Just in becoming physically settled, or I guess to assist in becoming more mentally settled, encourage ourselves physically to settle first. And I find it useful to start that process through some nice, heavy labored breathing. So take a deep, deep breath by sucking the air in through your nose down into the pit of the belly. And hold it there. And then release, allowing the belly to fall back in towards the spine. The chest will fall. And you're hopefully regularly breathing now as I'm talking. But on our next one, I'm going to encourage you to do the same thing. Deep breath in, but on the exhale, see if you can let go enough that you sigh when you exhale. Sometimes we feel a little self-conscious about making noise when we're doing anything. But in yoga, especially if this is your one time of day to devote your attention to yourself, it's great to make some noise and see if that's helpful for releasing and relaxing. So again, deep breath in, down to the belly. Holding. And on the exhale, so take a few more measured breaths in and out. Those were kind of the two big signs we are starting the practice today. So deep breath down and in, belly goes out. Back up, the breath goes through the torso, through the esophagus, or I guess the windpipe, sorry, biomajor, and out the nostrils. And back down into the nostrils, down the windpipe, into the lungs, feeling the belly press out as the lungs expand on top. And then as we allow the breath to release back up and out, the belly, the abdomen relax. A few more breaths on your own like that. Take notice of the stacking of the vertebrae in your spine. Maybe we encourage them to stack a little more upright. Feeling as though there's an invisible line running from your ceiling down through your seat and into the floor, and both ends of it are pulling away from each other. Maybe shifting the shoulders back in space so they're placed directly over the hips. Same with the head. You draw the chin back towards your shoulders, or the line of the shoulders rather. And has this encouraged or allowed the chest cavity to get bigger, to create more space through structuring, inviting more breath, making more space for a bigger breath. Cool. All right, you are welcome to keep your eyes closed. I'm going to blink mine open, rub them a little bit. We're just going to start moving. So turning the wrists in one direction first. Get some nice cracks depending on your anatomy. And then we'll reverse direction, turning the circles the opposite way. This can be fast or slow, just juicing up the joints. And then we'll extend both hands forward like you're saying stop, where you're pressing someone away or something away. Let's say that, something away. Pressing a shopping cart. We're starting to feel with the fingers flexed up, we're starting to feel some exertion on the tops of the forearms. You have nice, long, straight arms. So, long line, arms are engaged. And let's press the hands forward and allow the shoulder blades to slide across the back, broaden across the back. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what this looks like. So before, upright, right? And then we press forward. Oh, I get a little curve at the top of my spine, showing how the shoulder blades are sliding apart. And then we draw the shoulder blades in and back. So now there's some good space between my ears and the tops of the shoulders. The shoulder blades are pinching towards each other in the center of the back instead. Do that again, press the arms, shoulder blades spread. Maybe your head dips. And then slide the shoulder blades back in place, all while trying to keep straight arms. Mine are kind of burning up right now, so I'm just a little wrist circle. One more time. Top of the back. Doesn't hunch, but it curves as the blades spread across it. And then you pull the shoulder blades back and tucking the arm bones back into the shoulders. All right, shake out the arms. Next, I'm going to stay sideways. We're going to extend the right arm forward like we just did, and we're just going to pull the fingertips back towards the face, this time stretching more of the pad of the palm and beginning to stretch the wrist, the underside of the wrist, and the underside of the forearm. Maybe take 4 more breaths here. Still working as if we're pressing the palm forward, straight arm. It's just pulling the fingertips back towards the face. And gently release, shake it out. Now left hand goes forward, flexing the fingers back towards the face, grabbing the left hand and fingers to stretch the front of the left palm, or the underside of the left palm, and the underside of the left forearm. And check in with that spine and our abdomen, see if we can engage the abdomen to support the spine, become more upright, create more space in the chest cavity, the breath, and to get a little relief on our low back, which takes the brunt of the weight if we are too relaxed all the time. Okay, release, shake, shake, shake. Next, same thing, right arm forward, this time fingertips point down, front of the palm, front of the hand really, not the palm, the front of the palm of the hand faces down. And we're gonna pull with the left hand, the right fingertips towards us. So some people are super flexible here. The front of the wrist are super flexible such that their fingertips can touch the underside of their forearms. I am not one of those people. So I've got something to work towards. And again, if you have an injury that makes this impossible or painful, please don't do it. But you should feel, if you have a healthy wrist situation going on, a nice challenging stretching feeling on the top of the forearm and front of the hand should feel okay. Shake it out and we'll switch. Left arm straightens, left fingertips point towards the ground, reach forward with the right fingers and pull the left fingers back towards you, back towards the underside of the left forearm. All right, shake it out. Last thing we'll do seated here, similar to the shape we were doing, shifting our shoulder blades front and back with that. All we're going to do is place the palms on the knees, and we're going to press the knees away and start to curve into the whole back, allowing the head to dip down, chin towards the chest. And then we'll pull the chest through the shoulders, through the arms forward, and maybe you look up. So we're just alternating between this C curve of the spine and this C curve of the spine. So maybe inhale when you look up and you press the chest forward and up, drawing the shoulder blades together on the back, pulling the knees back and pressing the knees away, pushing the C curve the opposite direction. Chin dips to the chest. One more time. Inhale, C curve forward and up. Exhale, C curve to the back. Back to neutral spine. All right, we're gonna come to kneeling. I'll move my blankie out of the way. Come to kneeling. And I'm gonna step my right foot out to the side. Right toes are facing the right, so I'm turning out in this right hip and thigh. Meanwhile, my left leg is still facing forward. I'm gonna actually, looking at myself, for the benefit of that, I guess. Looking at myself, I want to have my shoulder stacked over my hip, over my knee. So a nice, long, upright line on the left side. And trying to get something like a 90-degree angle in my right bent leg. So that means knees stacked over the ankle. So you can't do anything about where your knee is, but you can do something about where your ankle is, okay? So you have a nice rectangle below the legs. I'm going to extend the right arm down towards the inside of the knee. Could be the inside of the thigh, whatever. But wherever you place, you want to encourage long, straight right arm, keeping the two shoulders open and broad. A lot of space right here. You're just going to sweep the left arm out and overhead. So we're just up right now. You might stop here, or you might start to bend over to the right side. So again, taking tabs on where the hips are, and I try and keep them centered where they were when your torso was upright, and all we're doing is stretching the line of the left side of the body. And so you've noticed that my right hand has shifted down from my knee, maybe down towards the ankle, but I'm still pressing with the back of the arm and hand into the right bent leg. I'm gonna pull in the belly just by engaging the muscles in there, not by sucking in. I'm not trying to create a vacuum or empty space in there, but just to support the spine so I have the chance to not sink into this thigh, but keep some space right here. And you're breathing. I forgot for a second. Reaching out to the left fingertips, feeling the stretch all the way down the left side body through the left hip. All right, to come back up, you're gonna press with that right arm into the thigh. Use the weight of the left arm to come upright. All right, very good. Now we're gonna shift to the right. So your knee stays on the ground in the same spot. All you do is shift the hips to face to the right in the same direction that your right toes already were facing. All right, inhale the arms up. On the exhale, cactus the arms out to either side. You're pulling the shoulder blades together across the back, pulling the shoulder blades down, and you feel the space underneath the ears, above the shoulders. And you're feeling the backs of the hands come towards each other on the back side of the body. Inhale up. One more time, exhale, cactus. Feel the breastbone looking up at the ceiling, maybe the gaze tips up as well. One more time, inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. Sweep the palms down. So the chest is laying on your right thigh. I'm going to scoot my left knee back a little bit. But all we're going to do is alternate between a nice lunge, which will stretch the left side of the hip, the left hip. You go forward, so you're bending into that right knee. Hips are still facing towards the front, I guess the foot, towards the right foot. And we're just holding here for a second. Again, if you have those books or blocks, this is a great time to put them underneath your hands. Get some nice length up through your chest. You can really feel what's happening in your left hip. And then you'll shift the hips back over the left knee, straightening the right leg in front, and shifting both hips back. So I'm starting here with a straight spine. So I'm not dipping too low, but I feel the hamstring stretch on my right back leg. I flex the right toes back towards the face, keeping the right leg engaged, pulling the kneecap up towards the hip. And maybe you allow a torso to drape over that right leg. Take 3 breaths. All right, lunge forward into the right knee. Inhale. Exhale, half split, shift back. Inhale, right knee. Lunge is really what I should say. Exhale, shift that half split. One more. Inhale, lunge forward. Exhale, half split. Inhale, lunge forward. If you extended that back knee, let's bring our legs into those 2 90-degree angles coming upright. Gonna shift forward again. Replace the right knee on the ground to kneeling. I'm so sorry I didn't offer this before, but if this is hurting your knees, lay a blanket underneath them. Probably could do both sides without it today, but it's already not feeling great for me. I'm sorry it took my own discomfort to remind you. Please forgive me. So anyway, we are kneeling. This time we're going to step the left foot out to the left. Hips are turning sideways. Left toes are pointed to the left. And our right foot is directly behind the right knee. Right hip is still facing forward. Great. So this time we straighten and extend the left hand down somewhere towards the inner edge of the left thigh. Sweep the right arm up overhead, feeling that long line all the way from the knee, through the shoulder, through the fingertips of the right hand. And then on the inhale, start to tip to the left. And hopefully the right side of the body will wake up in a positive way. Again, reminder maybe to try engaging the abdomen. Support the spine while it's bending. creating some space in this little triangular area between the thigh and the rib cage. Maybe you find that left hand sliding to a different point on your leg. And still reaching through the right fingertips, stretching all the way through the right hip. I feel this right here. All right, inhale to come up. And we're going to shift towards the left, so everything rotates left. We get our little box here. We'll only do this one time since we got some good cactus action on the other side, but inhale, the arms gaze up. Exhale, cactus arms out to the side again. Backs of the palms moving backwards in space, shoulder blades pinching towards one another on the back. Hips still facing forward, engaging the belly to stay upright. All right, and we're going to sweep the hands down to frame the front foot and alternate lunge, half split. So your lunge, chest is forward, stretch this time on the right front hip flexor. Marinate in this for a second. Maybe rock forward and back. Inhale to lengthen, look forward. Exhale, shift the hips back, flexing the left toes and straightening the left leg. Half split. So again, start more upright, where you can have length in the back. Gaze is forward. Focus on the action in the left leg. So we're scissoring the two legs by pulling the right hip forward and tucking the left hip back. You will feel it. You'll feel stretch on the outer edge of the left leg on the IT line. Engage the kneecap or pull the kneecap up and you'll feel the rest of your leg muscles engaged. And then maybe soften the torso and the head falling towards the shin or the knee. Few breaths here. Again, recall all the action, all the cues I called. So engaging the kneecap and the leg muscles on the left side. Pulling the left hip back and pulling the right hip forward. Pulling the left toes back towards the base. All right, bending, lunging into the left leg forward, inhale. Exhale, hip shift back, half split. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split. Inhale, lunge. Come back to those 90-degree angles in the knees. Back to upright. Shift that right foot back behind the knee, turning forward. Place the left knee. We're kneeling. Awesome. All right, next thing I want to do with you is I'm going to take a look back at the feet behind me. Give them a little space until you can see enough space between the 2 feet where your seat can fall. Before you sit your seat back down, maybe grab a pillow, blocks, or books, something to wedge under the seat, because we are just going to sit down. So a little bit of here's pose. The 2 knees are together, more or less. We want the thighs touching, so maybe the knees are a little bit apart. And you'll feel this internal rotation of the thighs. So the thigh muscles feel like they're spinning and the thigh bones probably feel like they're spinning towards one another. If you're feeling this in your knees, back it out. Maybe grab another pillow, get a little bit higher in the seat. But if you're feeling this at hip, in the hip area, that's good. And you can stay seated here. This isn't much of a challenge with the pillow. Maybe you remove it. Ooh. You will definitely feel a stretch on the front sides of the ankles and the feet. Maybe you just sit wherever you are, feeling whatever stretch Maybe it is manifesting as discomfort. Maybe it is manifesting as embodied challenge without any negative or positive connotation. Bring your attention back to the spine, to the breathing, to the belly. Can we stack everything, support everything, so the spine gets a little longer, so the chest creeps up. And there's more space for more breath. Maybe you're able to walk the hands back behind you. Maybe you're able to bend the elbows. And if you're doing that, try and pinch again the shoulder blades across the back. So the two elbows are truly behind you, not out to the side. Start there. Maybe you bend the elbows a little more so you can place forearms on the ground behind you. Again, aiming to have the elbows behind you, not out to the side. If you'd like, you're welcome to lay the back down on the ground. If you're doing that, you probably know what you're doing. I'm not going to show that. But I can tip my head back one day. Some days it feels okay. Some days it doesn't. Today, candy corn is just in the way. And to back out, if you have the head tucked back, tuck it in. Walk back up onto the arms. We'll meet upright. All right. Be gentle with the knees when you come out of this. I'm going to do a little like tap dance on the tops of my feet, smacking them down. All right. And one more thing. So we're kneeling. Tuck the toes underneath the heels, like this. And shift the seat back to sit on the toes. Some people call this toe breaker pose. That's so violent, especially if you do get some type of benefit. If you directly feel a benefit of this pose. It stretches the backs of the feet. It does stretch the toes. It's good, as long as you don't have broken toes, it's pretty good. But I certainly wouldn't call it a toe breaker. It's not a deal breaker for doing it. Anyway, maybe close the eyes. Again, re-engage with the positioning of your spine, your shoulders, your head and neck. See if we can stack all of it over the hips. It's not so easy. This is a little bit of a balance pose as well. It is a challenge just to breathe in this because of the intensity, which increases as you remain in it. So let's take 3 more slow breaths. Front of my shins are starting to light up. Woo. All right, let's come out, just shift forward. Again, be gentle. Ooh, release the toes, maybe tap them out on the floor. Cool. Excuse me. All right. Do a little good old fashioned vinyasa. So finding the front of your mat. Take this little, push it off. Hips are about hips width, the feet are hips width distance. I'm going to sweep the arms up, feel long, feet root, fingers rise. Exhale, fold over the knees. Torso lays on the thighs, knees can be nice and bent. Shake the head out, yes and no. Walk the hands up onto the shins, extend the back, the spine forward, looking forward. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, step the right foot back, step the left foot back, finding plank, attempting to shift the hips in line with the shoulders. Woo. Engaging the belly, pressing the floor away, elbow points spin towards one another and forward. And you can lower the knees, or you can shift the chest forward over the fingertips, bend the elbows back towards the hips, lower the chest down. Inhale the shoulder and chest through the hands, finding cobra. Exhale, shift the hips back, coming through child's pose. Whew, feels pretty good. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. First down dog. Maybe you march it out a little bit, bending one knee and then the other, pressing firmly into both hands, engaging the belly to encourage the hips to keep shifting up and back. Pressing out of the hands and breathing. Inhaling up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees looking forward, and you can step or hop towards the hands at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, bend the knees to the arms up. Inhale and exhale, hands through the center, down by the sides. Inhale, arms up, get long. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step left foot back, then right, holding in plank. Inhale. Exhale, come down into your low push-up, rising onto the tops of the feet for up dog, pressing the floor away. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. 3 breaths. 2. 1. Again, bending the knees, hips rise up, look forward, step, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, root and rise, inhale. Exhale, hands to center, down by the sides. All right, different this time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. We're going to step, step the left foot back. So we're in a little low lunge. We've done this before. You're going to place the left knee on the ground. You can untuck the toes if you like. Again, grabbing blocks to put under the hands if you like. No big deal. Again, we're marinating here for a second. Reintroducing the stretch to the front of the left hip. Or what we're going to do is we're going to rise up onto the fingertips of the right arm. And we're going to sweep the left arm across the face. And we're leaning or side stretching again over to the right with the left arm. We're pressing the floor away with the right hand. And now we feel the stretch from the left fingertips to the left hip, the front of the left thigh. And then I'll swing it backwards. Do the same thing this time. Right arm crosses the body. I'm going to look under the right armpit. We're on the fingertips of the left hand, maybe palm. Inhale, cactus that right arm back. So drawing the shoulder blades together, pressing the left arm into the ground to spread the shoulder, the collarbones. Inhale the right arm long, sweep it back down, replace the right palm. I'm going to tuck the left toe, lift the left knee. What was I going to have you do? Oh yeah, plant the left palm on the ground and twist open to the right. Looking over the right shoulder, pressing the floor away with the left palm. Left or right fingertips are up in the air. Gaze up in the air if your neck likes that. We're scissoring the 2 legs, the hips. So maybe they even lift up a little bit. Replace the right palm. Replace the left knee. And I'm actually going to show you my butt for a second. Sorry, we're going to go through the center into wide-legged forward fold. Letting gravity pull on the head and neck. Maybe you clasp the back of the neck. Clasp the head with the hands interwoven in the back of the neck and the back of the head. And allowing gravity through your big old heavy head to straighten the spine, create more space in the spine. And maybe you play around a little bit with shifting the hips or the weight, but also the hips forward and back, in the toes, into the heels, stretching the back side of the legs. All right, other side. This means we're going to walk over to the left leg, which will now bend. So we're taking our lunge on the left side instead. Place the right knee on the ground, untuck the right toes, marinate in the left side low lunge. Whew. Just a few breaths. So this time, we're going to come up onto the fingertips of the left arm, sweep the right arm over across the body. So it's over the right ear. We're looking under the right armpit. And this stretches from the front of the right hip through the right rib cage. Whew. All right, replace the right palm back down. Sweep the left arm across the face. Looking under the right arm or the left armpit. Place the left hand. Tuck the toes, lift the knee. This is the right straight leg behind you. Plant the right palm. Sweep the left arm up into the air, coming into a twist. Still pressing the floor away with the right palm. With the 2 feet, engage both legs. Feel the back of the right knee lift up towards the ceiling. Replace the left palm. And we'll take that wide-legged forward fold through center again. You can try a different arm variation, maybe. You like clasping the hands in the hips. Maybe you like allowing the fists to fall back towards the floor. I'm going to change direction just so you can see what that looks like if you're interested. So my hands are clasped. They start at the back of my pelvis. I pinch the shoulder blades together by rolling the shoulders down and back. And then I start to encourage the ball of my fist to come forward. Woo! So balance, stretching, opening. All right. Whew. We're going to come forward. So this is our halfway lift, just like in our flow before. Bend your knees enough that you can have the palms of your hands on the floor. Just hop the 2 feet together. Press the floor away with bent knees. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, come through center. Hands side to side. All right, something different again. So facing your mat the long way, the normal way. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms. We're going to step the left foot back. And we're going to start in high crescent lunge. So that means you step back, you're on the ball of the left foot. So the toes on both feet are facing the same direction, right in this case. You're going to walk the hands up onto the thigh. Maybe you stay like this. Maybe you inhale to rise the arms up alongside the ears, torso is upright. So we're stretching the front of that left hip. So we could do this a little more comfortably. Maybe you're able to bend into the right knee and bend the left knee as much as you need to keep the chest and the hips upright. We're raising up through the fingertips. We're engaging the belly. And again, same scissoring action. So pull the left hip forward, pull the right hip back. Whew. All right. Going to rotate the hips to the side of the room. The left toes are facing forward towards the screen. Your arms extend outwards along either side. We're bending generously into this right knee. Our head, our shoulders, our hips all stacked as much as we can. And let's shrug the shoulders up. Woo. And exhale, maybe bend the arms a little bit, and then extend out through the hands. And we're aiming to have them about the same vertical level. So maybe take a glance back at that left hand. It always seems to get lost. Make sure it's about shoulder height. Sometimes it goes like this. Sometimes it's all the way up here. So just take a little glance at it. All right, we're going to bend the right arm, laying the right forearm on the right thigh. Yeah, right thigh. We're going to sweep the left arm overhead, finding that long line, side stretch, left side. So pressing out through the left side of the outer edge of the foot. And we're going to bend the left arm. So we find that cactus shape, and it's going to bring us upright. Left arm finds left thigh, stretch the right arm overhead behind, reverse. All right, cactus through center. Lay the right arm on the right thigh, extend the left arm overhead. Come up through the cactus and reverse. Inhale, cactus. One more time. Side angle. One more time through center, cactus, and reverse. All right. Going to straighten the front leg. I have to walk my back foot in a little bit. You're welcome to. Finding triangle. So as we straighten the front leg, we shift the hips backwards, which means left for me. I'm going to slide the hips forward in space, like there's a clothesline running from this hip all the way out over your right fingers. Look out towards that infinite horizon. And when you can no longer go forward, let the right hand rest somewhere on your leg or block, that's fine too. And you're going to work to twist the chest open to the left, extending the left arm overhead, stacking that left hand over shoulders. Again, engaging the belly the same way as before. So you can make more space here on the right underside of the hips, so you can twist open and lift out of the hips. We're going to bring the left arm back down towards the ground. We're going to turn both feet forward in the same direction, coming into pyramid pose. So both feet face right, both hands are on the ground. The ground's really far away. That's super normal. My feet are super far away as well, so I'm going to step that back foot forward some good, maybe 6-8 inches. And my feet are on parallel but separate train tracks, okay? 2 lines, both going the same direction, just spaced out. Again, you can grab your books. We're going to start aiming for that straight back and the same scissoring action in the hips. Pulling the right hip back, pulling the left hip forward. So now it's IT stretch right side. Woo! You can stay here or you can plant the left palm. Slowly rotate open to the right. So I'm starting by tucking my right thumb into the crevice of my right hip, that crease at the top of my right thigh. And I'm pushing that back. Whew. I'm twisting to the side. And stay here, or you can extend the right arm up overhead, again, stacking shoulders. All right. If you did that craziness, come back down. And the last thing I wanted to invite you to do was, I think, a standing split, but that doesn't feel so good right now. So I'm going to have you step forward just so both feet meet and fold over your thighs. Pressing into the feet, bend the knees, sweep arms out and up, inhale. Exhale, hands through center, down by the side. All right, other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the right foot back this time. Stay where you are. Just finish it. All right, so left foot is still back. We're doing crescent lunge. So we're going to walk the hands up onto the left thigh, bring the torso upright. You can stay like this, hands can stay on hips. You can bend both knees a little more. And inhale to sweep the arms on either side of the ears, lifting out of the hips, scissoring them. So left hip back, right hip forward, engaging the belly. Whew. And we're gonna open out to warrior two. All right, so fingertips stretching away from each other, bending this time into the left knee. Straight right thigh. Woo. Shoulders, head over the hips. Nice. All right. We're going to bend the left elbow again, resting on the left thigh. Sweep the right arm over the ear, looking under the right armpit. Long line, fingertips, right finger all the way through the right ankle. Working to twist the chest open to the right and up. Right shoulder stacked over the left. Press that left elbow into the left thigh to get more height so you're not sinking. You want to have a little space here if possible. And we're going to bend the right arm on top, finding that cactus. Coming upright, cactus in the middle. Right arm finds right thigh. Extend the left arm over the ear to reverse lunge. Ooh. Bend through center, cactus. Lay the left hand, left elbow on the left thigh and sweep the right arm overhead. Side ankle stretch. Cactus through center, reverse. Right arm overhead, left arm overhead. Cactus through center, side ankle, right arm overhead. Cactus through center, whew. And back to warrior two. Couple breaths here. All right, this is where we're gonna come into triangle. So I'm gonna scoot my back foot forward a bit and straighten the right hips. See the hips shift back towards the right. Arms extend on the line like we're still in warrior two. I'm gonna shift the shoulders, the torso forward, left, and lower the left palm, somewhere on the left leg. And maybe you extend the right arm overhead. Maybe the gaze follows. Engage the belly, shift the hips towards the right. Press into the left leg with the left palm to lift up, out with the hip and out of the hand. And keep extending up through the right fingertips. So I'm actually feeling engagement here on the top of my right, I don't know what this is, this side abs, just as much as you might feel it on the underside, the left side. All right, we're going to return the right palm down to the floor. We're going to turn all 10 toes forward, which is the left. And we're gonna step that back right foot forward a little bit, if that makes it easier for your palms to find the ground. My palms are not finding the ground, actually. My fingertips are, and I'm still feeling a super intense stretch on the outer side of my left hip along the IT band. So I'm gonna guide you through the same cues, which is tucking the left hip back in space, pulling the right hip forward. See if you can feel the chest unfurling out of the hips as you look forward. See if you can engage both legs so you feel strong. And you can stay like this, or you can plant the right palm on a surface. You can tuck the left thumb into the crease of the left hip. Pull the left hip back. And you can start to look towards the left. Maybe look up towards the ceiling. Maybe the left arm stacks over the right. Twist, balance, stretch, everything. All right. And we're gonna step the right foot forward to meet the left and fold. Bend the knees. Let the torso sway. All right. All right, I'm gonna have you all of us are going to press into the feet, bend the knees, come upright, inhale at the top. Exhale, hands down by the side. All right, and do a little bit of balance before we hit the floor. But to start, we're gonna do a little warrior 3. So face whatever direction you like. Your leg is gonna go behind you, so just make sure you have enough space behind your body. So we're gonna start placing all the weight into our left foot and starting to hover the right foot off the ground. Check in with that belly, see if we can tone it up so we stay stacked and long in the spine. 2 hips facing forward. Maybe we need to tuck the right hip down a bit. All right, cool. We're going to draw the right knee up towards the chest, pull it in tight. Then we're going to release it and start to kick the right foot back behind us. Hands can be in prayer, they can be on the hips. Ooh, and maybe you wobble. Maybe you bring a bend to the left standing leg. And then you start to unfurl to straighten the right leg behind you. Pressing the palms together if they're in prayer on the chest, we're turning the right hip down. So still scissoring the legs, it's the move of the day. Whew. And we're pressing into the big toe edge, which I'm having trouble doing, as you can see. Still pressing to the back side of that right foot. All right, come back up to standing. Pull right knee into the chest. Left leg might be super fired up. Now have us do one more thing. Grab the outer edge of the right knee with the left hand. Twist open to the right. Looking over the right shoulder. Maybe you extend the right arm back behind you. Maybe we gaze Lotus. All right, coming back through center. Kick the right leg out. Woo! Other side. Okay. If you were watching, that was very wobbly for me, but it's about to get crazier because I have an injury on my right standing leg. So let that humble me and remind you that I am still a student, even though I'm teaching you. So we all have our wobbly days, whether we can blame it on something or not. So shifting the weight into the right standing foot, starting to hover the left foot off the ground, checking in with the belly, spine, shoulders stacking. Maybe you need to tuck the left hip down a little bit to get it in the same horizontal line-ish as the right hip. Pull the left knee into the chest. And hands can find prayer in front of the chest, start to tilt forward. Maybe you have a bent right standing leg, and maybe you progressively straighten both legs. So we have that same imaginary line running from the top of our head and out of it, and pulling the left foot back. Engaging the belly, being nice and strong in the legs. Scissoring the hips. All right, come back up. Draw the left knee into the chest. Right hand crosses over the left knee. Chest starts to turn to the left. Maybe the arm extends back behind you, left arm. Maybe gaze follows. Back through center. Oh, don't drop yet. Extend the left leg forward and then we're done. That was fun. Okay, we're gonna come down to the floor through a squat. So hips or the feet are a little bit wider than hips. Toes are pointing out, diagonal. So the narrowest part, your heels, is in the center. Gonna bend the legs and come back down to seated. My feet were too wide. All right. So elbows hook onto the inner edges of the knees. Palms can press each other away. Just mellowing in the squat. I'm gonna shift the weight into the back sides of the feet. So you're lifting up out of the inner arches. Engaging the belly to feel long from your reproductive organs out through the top of the head. Long line. All right, scoot back, sit on your bum. We are going to do a little bit of Lotus prep. Be not afraid. So bend your left knee like you're gonna sit in cross-legged position, right? Rather than tuck your right foot in, you're going to bend your left arm and swing your right foot into the crook of your left elbow. And you're gonna bend your right arm and hook onto the outer edge of your right knee. So maybe your hands meet here, and you're just kind of cradling your shin like a baby that you love. And you rock side to side with the leg, baby. And this might feel good. This might feel not great. If it feels really bad in your knee, there is no need to do it. I'm really sorry if it hurts your knee, but sit this part out. You can gradually walk that foot up onto kind of the upper arm area or bicep area, and you'll see my leg is starting to become, my shin is starting to get parallel with the floor. This is just stretching the outer hip line of my right leg. I'm trying to stay upright in the chest, pulling the shin towards the chest. All right, super cool. All right, now we're going to see if we can rest the right foot on the top of the left thigh. Maybe we're able to move it into that little crook at the very top of the left thigh. Underneath your bony hip, there's this little space. And it might be covered in all kinds of stuff. But eventually your foot will just find it. This little natural home, even if it feels unnatural at first. So if you are seated like this right now with me, you are in half lotus. Woo! All right. You can stay like this. Or one more thing that we can do is we can place the right arm behind us and start to turn towards the right. Straighten the left arm, find that right knee, and pull the spine to the right, starting to face the back of the room. And maybe press with that left hand, the right knee and thigh down towards the floor as we rotate towards the back. Again, working to stay upright and long in the spine. And come through center. The very last thing that we can do, so you can stay seated in center like this, or you can place the left palm behind you. And we're going to turn and come up onto our left knee, keeping the right half lotus tucked in, straightening the back left arm, and extending the right arm overhead into this half lotus stargazer pose type of thing. We're pressing the two hips forward. All right, come back down to seated. Other side. Okay, untuck the right foot, recross your legs the other direction. Going to find baby pose, shin baby pose by tucking the left foot, sole left foot into the right upper arm. Left arm hooks around the outer edge of the left knee. And we just rock. Trying to keep the chest upright and tall. Waking up that deep, deep part of the left hip. And you can stay like this, or you can work the sole of the left foot up a little higher into the arm so that your shin on the left leg becomes more parallel. And you're pulling that shin back towards the chest and you're pressing the chest into it. And maybe you rock it out a little bit here too. All right. I'm going to lower the left foot down towards the top of the right thigh, and maybe the top of the left foot finds the top of the right thigh. A lot of confusion with the cardinal directions here, or I guess right and left directions. Sorry. And this is your half lotus. All right. Left foot gathered in towards center at the top of the right thigh. And if you like, you can twist over to the left. Right arm extends and presses against the front, the outer edge of the left knee. Left arm finds a place on the floor behind you, twisting open towards left and back. Looking over the shoulder. All right, coming back through center. Last option, right palm placed below you, behind you, it's straight. And we're going to rock the weight forward. You can place this left palm in front of you. Rock the weight forward to come into kneeling on the right thigh, right knee, We're going to press the hips forward, thrust them forward, and extend the left arm overhead, maybe over the ear. Stargazer. All right, coming back down through center. That's it. All right. To dial things down a little bit, I'm going to invite you to take an easy seat. That can be with regular crossed legs. Actually, I'm going to invite everyone to lay down. So find that reclined position. Let the arms drape open down by the sides. You wiggle each of the fingers to loosen up the palms. Let the legs extend long in front of you, away from the hips and the head. Let the toes be heavy so that the feet roll out. And the inner edges of the feet start to turn towards the ceiling a little bit. Knees can be bent. Maybe you tuck the two shoulders underneath the torso a little more. Feel the opening stretch across the collarbones in the chest. Redirecting our attention to the in and out of the breath, and perhaps the movement it causes our torso to take. Watch the chest and the belly rise and fall with the inhale and the exhale. I'm going to sign off and leave you in Shavasana. But thank you so much for joining us here at CSDS, and I will see you next week. Have a great day. See you.